Hi, welcome back to the XII Sound channel and part 39 in the series all about my Project 12 DIY modular analog synth. In this video we'll be looking at a tuner. No, not that kind of tuner. That kind of tuner, a guitar tuner, and how to convert it so that you can build it into a Eurorack or, in my case, a Project 12 module. Now the main concern about these is that these, well, there's two things. They run on around 3 volts. They have one of those little 3-volt button cells in there, and most Eurorack and Project 12, including the name, run on 12 volts. And the other thing is that these are designed to be clip-on with there's a piezo element in there which acts like a contact mic to pick up the vibrations from whatever instrument you've got it connected to. This one does chromatic, guitar, bass, violin, ukulele C and ukulele D, so quite a range. In reality we're only interested in chromatic for what we're doing. But it's got to be converted. Now I looked at what other people had done and I found a great little video, very short video, but tells you everything you need to know from the Synth DIY channel. I'll give you a link to that. And it shows you how to build one of these into a Eurorack system. Now, it starts with a voltage converter or voltage regulator. In this particular circuit, it's an LM317, which is a variable voltage that you set the output with a combination of resistors. Now I've stuck to that design, but there'd be nothing to stop you using a 78L33, I think it is, which is a fixed output 3.3 volt voltage regulator. So they'll take the 12 volt input and give you a stable 3.3 volt output, which you can safely run one of these tuners on that kind of level. And then what you need to do is, because we're not doing it with a contact, we're actually plugging patch leads into it, you need to cool the signal going in a little. So again, there's just a couple of resistors that are used to do that. Now on the video, if you go and watch it, you'll see that in his version of the tuner, he builds the voltage regulator on an external board but puts all the resistors inside the tuner. Now because the way that my tuner is put together, I actually found it easier to take some wires out of the tuner and put everything on a single board. So I did a strip board layout as per usual, and my strip board layout looks like this. Hardly any components, really small, simple and compact. And then I have to mount the tuner itself onto the panel. Now the way I did it with mine was it has a slide off battery cover on the back, and so I bolted the battery cover to the panel and then slid the tuner onto the battery cover, passing the wires through a hole and then onto the circuit board. And then of course there's a couple of sockets because you've got to go in and out. In actual fact they're just connected directly together, so you actually go straight through. And that's about it really. Incidentally, I managed to pick that particular tuner up, I think it was on eBay, and I paid a £5 for it. I think I even got free postage at that. It was next to nothing really, so yeah, very cheap and simple circuit to build. But does it actually work when you plug it into a Eurorack, or in my case, Project 12? Well, let's go and have a look, see what happens. Here we have the tuner on the panel and in Project 12. So there we go, this is the tuner. Sorry, this is the tuner. I don't think you can see it on the video, but the little box at the bottom says C, which means it's set up for chromatic. and I've got the triangle wave output from my origami module going into it, and then the through output goes straight to the mixer so you can hear what it's doing. And it says it's tuned to E at the moment. So I reckon that should be an E. Now what I've also got into the mixer is a piano. So let's play some E notes. So there, that's kind of a middle E that we've got going there. Just to prove that it does actually track. It's not that easy to tune one of these oscillators. Remember that these oscillators of mine, they are actually linear. They're not calibrated to 1 volt per octave. So it is just, you know, play it by ear, which is what I normally do. I don't normally bother with a tuner, but it's useful sometimes to actually know whereabouts you are. So it says that's a C. There's a little bit of pulse in there, so it's probably not bang on. That's even worse. That's fairly close. The other thing about these oscillators is that they will drift as well. So as the temperature changes, they won't particularly stay in tune. All this is sitting reasonably stable at the moment. Yeah, which is not bad going really. It'd be nice if I had a fine tune on it or something. What we got there? G. Again, reasonably close enough for us to know where we're at. So it's drifted again, which is what I expect it to do. Back down to a low E now. There we go. Well, I think I've proved that it kind of works. As I say, my system doesn't follow any standards. It's a bit all over the place really, and I normally play by ear, but if I want to find out roughly where I'm at in the scale of things, then yeah, this simple tuner, this simple adaptation works for me. So if you'd like to tune your modular synth, then have a look at the original video. It's got shows you how he put his together. It'll give you the circuit diagram as well. I've done a all-inclusive stripboard layout, so you've got that, which will be in the XII Sound Dropbox files. There'll be links to that. And as I say, the tuner cost me £5, so it's for nothing. So yeah, come on, have a go. Build your own.